The 3-year pause on student loan payments will end later this summer.
It's part of the debt ceiling deal negotiated by the president and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
The payments will resume in late August, and if you're not ready, there are some options. Sara Maslar-Donar has you covered.
Student loan payments are likely to resume in late August, and 40 million borrowers will need to start paying back those loans. So today, Betsy Mayotte, the president of the Institute of Student Loan Advisors, is with me to explain how you can prepare to start those payments again. Betsy, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
We're glad to have you here. So, Betsy, just off the bat, how should people begin preparing to start those payments back up?
Great question. So, most borrowers haven't been due for payment in over 3 years, and there's been a lot of changes in those 3 years. So the best thing people can do to prepare is, first of all, make sure you know who your student loan servicer is, because that could have changed. Borrowers can go to the Department of Ed's website, which is studentaid.gov, and they can find out who their actual servicer is, as well as how much they owe. From there, they should make sure that their servicer has their correct contact information and get an idea of what their payment might be once payments resume.
So do you recommend people talk to an advisor about their loans, or can they do this themselves?
Most people can do it themselves. I definitely don't recommend paying anybody for help. There's no reason to pay anybody for help with your student loans. In fact, some of those could turn out to be scams. Your loan servicer really is the best people to talk to, because they're going to know what your eligibility is for certain programs. For example, if you have the need for a lower payment option, they'll know which ones are that you are potentially eligible for.
Can people set up payment plans then for their student loans pretty easily?
Yeah, in fact, the Department of Education has worked really hard to make that process even easier. Some of those plans, you don't even have to interact with your servicer at all. You can apply for them right at that website I mentioned earlier, studentaid.gov. Most of the others can also be applied for online just by logging into your loan servicer's website. And there's multiple lower payment options available for federal student loans. There's several that are based on your income and family size. There's also some that are based on, for example, interest only for a couple of years, or simply lower the payment by extending the term of the loan.
What if people just aren't ready, Betsy, and they really can't pay these loans come August?
Well, it depends on the reason that they can't pay. They can't pay because, say, they're unemployed or their income is just too low. I would still recommend looking at those income-driven repayment plans. If your income is low enough, or non-existent for that matter, you could potentially have a payment of $0 under those income-driven repayment plans. And the really nice thing about those income-driven plans is that if you're on that plan for either 20 or 25 years, depending on the plan and depending on your loans, any remaining balance after that period is forgiven, including the interest. So if you just can't pay, I suggest looking at those. If that's not a good fit for you, there are things called forbearances and deferments that will temporarily postpone your payment. However, interest will still accrue during those periods, and they don't lead to any type of loan forgiveness.
Well, Betsy, a lot of great options and information here. Thank you so much for taking the time to lay it all out for us.
My pleasure.